Hey guys, it is me, 80s from guys. Today we're doing a match review with Cadiz 0, Barcelona 0, guys. Once again, guys, Barcelona have dropped points yet again in La Liga, and I'm not quite frankly surprised. In fact, I actually predicted us to draw the game, and they did even better. They actually did drew 0-0. I predicted 1-1, and they actually did better. Okay? Anyhow, with that said, guys, there's a lot to discuss this match. A lot of things that frustrated me. And even though the match, there wasn't really a lot of highlights to discuss, because quite frankly speaking, guys, most of this game was very, very passive. Like, most of this game, there wasn't really much to discuss. Now, I did write down some notes, as per usual, guys, and I want you guys to comment about what you guys think. And, of course, guys, I will be giving you guys my thoughts on the whole situation and everything. So, without further ado, let's go and get started. So let's go ahead and start with that first half. Actually, let's go look at the lineup in first. Let me just give you guys my quick lineup thoughts. Obviously, I did a brief thoughts on Twitter. So if you guys want to know or get a little bit more insight to what I said at that time, feel free to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. So let's go look at the lineup. For me, guys, I think this lineup was about pretty good, I guess. I think Ter Stegen and goal. Obviously, we expected Dest at left back. That was expected. Arau, Piqué, Mingueza. Gavi, Busquets, De Jong, Depay, De Jong, and Yusuf Demir. This, I think, was almost the perfect lineup. The only concerns I had with the lineup was Luke De Jong. That was it. Other than that, I think I was really content with it. I would have probably put Coutinho on the left and Depay in the middle. That's what I would have done, personally. And holy behold, even with that lineup, guys, Barca played crap in that first half. That first half was almost nothing for Barcelona. There was literally nothing. Okay, Dest had an opportunity to shoot, just went wide. Piqué had a really good tackle there. And then there was a really good pass from Gavi to Frankie de Jong, and unfortunately Frankie de Jong couldn't get on the end of it, so that was a really good pass there. Depay had a chance to shoot. He had shot. And then I believe one of the Cadiz players got injured. I think it was Fali that got injured, I want to say. Yes, Fali got injured at the break of halftime. And then at halftime, I'm like, okay, 0-0. This is probably going to end 0-0. This would probably end 0-0. The second half starts, and already Cadiz have a glorious opportunity to take the lead, and guess who is there to save it? It is Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. People say Marc-Andre Ter Stegen isn't that great. I still don't believe he's at his best, but I still do believe he's a great goalkeeper. And that we still have to respect him. Nonetheless, a great save from Ter Stegen there. It was from Negredo, by the way, guys. And then Roberto came on at halftime. Yusuf Demir came off, and Roberto played at the right wing. And I'm like, this is probably not the right decision to do so, but let's just see what happens. And obviously, we know what happened. Depay had a really good chance to score there, and he messed up. I think he messed up a sitter, I want to say. So, yeah, Depay had that chance there. And then Depay had a really good chance to score, and he actually got saved by the goalkeeper, Ledesma. And then De Jong. Let's talk about the De Jong situation. I think that first yellow for me was a bit harsh. I think both yellows were at some extent to be harsh. I think the second yellow I could understand, but I think the first one, let's look at the first one. So first one, Frankie de Jong receives a game's first yellow card for Sergio on the face. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a harsh one. Second one, I will agree. I think it does deserve at least a yellow. But I don't really necessarily believe that first one should have been a yellow. So, yeah, you could see right there, Barca midfield slides clumsily into Spano in an attempt to salvage a loose touch, which is a second yellow card. Has to go to Koeman to rub his chin. Both players harangue the referee to no avail. Yeah, I can understand this one being yellow because, as I said, it was a very dangerous tackle, and that person, I believe Espano, he could have been, it was a life-threatening challenge, So I can understand that one. But at the same time, I don't believe that first yellow was warranted. I think that was a bit of a harsh call, in my opinion. I believe it was a bit of a controversial one. He did win the ball ultimately. And that's a bit of a crazy one, but it is what it is. La Liga, how the refs are. I don't want to get too much into that kind of stuff right now, but you know how they are. And then obviously Roberto picked up a yellow card for protesting. And then Koeman made the substitutions. He brought out Coutinho. He brought off Luke de Jong. A good substitution, in my opinion. Brought out Nico Gonzalez and took off Gavi. Pretty interesting there. And then he brought out Dest and bring on Puig. And then Mats had another incredible opportunity to save, and it was a really good save there from Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Sanchez had a really good opportunity there. Actually, Sanchez races on, and he gets a through ball to Sabrina. Sabrina messes up. and it's a great save from Ter Stegen. Once again, guys, Ter Stegen showing up why he really does matter. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the final minutes of the game. This is where things got very dramatic indeed. Coutinho had a great chance to score from a free kick, and he messed up. And the second one was terrible. And then came the big opportunity in the game. I mean, this was the best chance Barcelona had in the game. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, how, man. And right here, let me see if I can find it right here, guys. Depay. Where is he? Depay had a great chance to score. Where is it? I'm trying to figure that out. Here he goes. Selly end-to-end from both sides. And then Depay. He had a continuous slips in a Depay who was a low shot, agonizing one of the fired posts. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? Depay. He messed up that opportunity. It was like around the 94th minute. If he had scored that, guys, we win the game. We win the game. You know, and obviously didn't happen. Depay messed up just about. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, God, that's a glorious opportunity. Glorious one. And then Busquets got a yellow card. Unsportsmanlike conduct, it says right there. And overall, guys, I mean, this is just sad. I mean, this is sad. I mean, how do you draw 0-0 to Cadiz? And I know people will say this, I'm just going to address this right now. Yes, Barcelona didn't have Ansu Fati, Ousmane Dembele, Sergio Aguero, and Martin Braithwaite. That is all true. That is definitely all true. And I think those players could have made a difference. And let's go and discuss each of the players. Let's really dive into this. Do we really think Dembele would have won this game for us? Do you really think? Because I've seen Dembele was mostly fit last season, and he didn't really have many goal contributions or assists. Now, to be fair, he did score a very important goal against Sevilla, but that's pretty much it. Dembele for me last season was very wasteful. Okay? Then we have Sergio Aguero, who, once again, is also another injury-prone player. He didn't play much for City last season. And I don't think Aguero, I don't even know if I could trust Aguero, right? So Aguero, it's a difficult one. We don't know. Then you got Braithwaite. For me, Braithwaite was mostly fit last season, and we saw what he did. He wasn't really that great. So I don't really think Braithwaite would have made that much more difference. Now, there is one player that I didn't discuss, and I'll be discussing now. Ansu Fati, for me, is the best case. I think if we had Ansu Fati in this game, there is a chance that we could win this game. Obviously, the chances of us winning are increased. But here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem. Ansu Fati is coming back from a long-term injury. It's going to take time for him to recover, time for him to adapt, and I don't think he'll be playing all the minutes as we saw in the past. I think he's going to be kind of maintained carefully, and I see maybe like 60 minutes the most for him to play the games, at least these early games, for him to build up. And as I said before, guys, I really don't know if Ansu Fati would have won this game for us, you know. And as I said, you can't just like make these assumptions, right? And even still, without those players, guys, Barcelona should still be able to beat Cadiz. Cadiz, for me, guys, in this game, they were not that great. They weren't bad, per se. I wouldn't say they were bad, but I do believe that Cadiz isn't that great of an opposition. I mean, they're 14th in the league for the reason, guys. And with this draw, guys, Barcelona finally secured their first clean sheet. And with this draw, guys, Barcelona have now put themselves 7th place in the table with 9 points. Remember, guys, Barca do have a game in hand. However, guys, as I said before, guys, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, you see how much the gap they're already building, even playing a game more than us. And even with the game, even if they hadn't played that game more, they would still be leading against us. And I think it's fair to say that the title race is over. The title race is over, guys. Barcelona is definitely not winning La Liga. Barcelona could still, theoretically, still get top 4. I think top 4 will still happen, but we're going to have to be more consistent here. And as I said before, guys, Valencia, Rayo Vallecano, Atletico, Real Betis, Villarreal, that top 4 spot's going to be very interesting. As I said before, guys, this could be a really interesting season for Barcelona. We could see a scenario that Barca do not finish in the top 4. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much about the whole match. As I said, there wasn't really a lot in the match to discuss, if I'm being quite frankly honest. So now let's go ahead and discuss about the whole situation in Barcelona and how they'll do. So let's just get that out of the way. For me, guys, I still believe Barca will finish top 4. I still do believe Barca will finish top 4 given the quality of the other teams. And I can't really imagine seeing Valencia, Rayo Vallecano really being this consistent, nor Real Betis and Villarreal. However, at the same time, we should still be concerned because, as I said before, guys, this is worrying that we haven't done that well. We haven't had a forward score a goal for us after the international break. the only goal we have scored is through Ronald Araujo. That is very worrying indeed, and that we need to see improvements. And I think for me, guys, this is Koeman's final game. And by the way, Koeman did get a red card at the very end. Apparently it was from some I'm not exactly sure if I'm being honest, but I think it's something to do with like the whole protesting thing, I would imagine. I think I saw a Hagrid post on that on Twitter. But my point here is that Koeman has to go. Koeman has to go. I've been Koeman out for a long time, and this is very clear now. Koeman has to leave now, guys, and that this Barcelona team is not going anywhere with Koeman. And I know some people say, well, we should give Koeman some time. Let's see what he could do with those players that were injured. And yes, that is fair. That is a fair argument. But at the same time, there is no identity with this team. I don't know what this team is about. There is no structure. There is no philosophy. There is no cohesion. There is no system in place. And without a proper system, it's difficult to really get all the players. Because you can all have the best players you want, But if you can't really get the team to work together as a collective unit, it's not going to work, And there is no system to this team. There is no system. And yes, I understand Dembele and Fati are quality players. They're definitely great players. But I don't know if they'll be able to adapt to this uncertainty of a system. Because this system, for me, guys, there is no system, And the worst part about this thing is that the team actually as a whole, if you look at the three team parts, you have midfield, defense, and attack. For me, the defense was actually decent. I think the defense, for the most part, was decent. The midfield was decent too. It's just the attack that was the most worrying component of this. And obviously, I think if we had those players, obviously our attack would be better. But I still do believe that the attack for me is the most concerning, And once again, guys, Luke de Jong continues to get these opportunities and continues to underperform. Coutinho as well. It's going to be really interesting, guys. It's going to be really interesting. This season will be a good reality check for us. And obviously, I believe for me, Lionel Messi was a huge reason why Koeman's people are understanding now. Because let me tell you this right now, guys. If Lionel Messi was not in insane form last season, Barcelona do not get top 4. Barcelona do not win the Copa del Rey. Barcelona do not get to the round of 16. It would have been a drastically different season if Messi wasn't that insane. So people are now understanding what the Barcelona is really like. And I've been telling this for a long time now. I've been Koeman out for a long time. I've been Koeman out ever since Granada game, that 2-1 defeat at the Camp Nou. I've been Koeman out for a long time. And now people are finally starting to understand what the issues are with this team. There are so many issues with this team. There is no system in place. And I believe Messi and Griezmann were the players that are bailing Koeman out, especially Messi, And that is, for me, very interesting there, is that you see how much contribution Messi has to this team. That without Messi, this team is really not the same. So, obviously our next game is against Levante. It's going to be very tricky. We know what Levante can do, especially against the top teams. Obviously, I'll give you guys my whole thoughts more about that on Saturday. But just so you guys know, man, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough these next couple of days. When do I think Koeman's going to get sacked? Let me just answer this question and we'll wrap up for today's video. I believe Koeman will get sacked in the international break. I think he'll get sacked in the international break. Because that's simple, guys. He's expected to miss the Atletico Madrid game as well as the Levante game. So he'll be there for the Benfica game, but not anymore for La Liga, at least before international break. So that's it for today, guys. I want you guys to comment down below what you guys think. You guys check out me on my other platforms, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.